Hello guys and welcome back. Today we're looking at algebraic expressions, the substitution property, and evaluating expressions. They all kind of go hand in hand with each other. So what is an algebraic expression? It's a mathematical phrase made up of numbers and variables. And variables are letters that represent numbers. So given A equals B, then A may be replaced for B in any expression. That counts also for numbers. So if I told you that if A equals 7, and I gave you an expression, anywhere that A was in that expression, you could substitute the 7 in for it. All right, we'll see that soon enough. So evaluating expressions. To evaluate an expression with variable replacements, which means they told you what the variable is, like A equals 7, and you have to substitute whatever the value is for that letter, for that variable, into the given values. Each time you substitute a variable with a number, put parentheses around that number. You'll see exactly what we're talking about as we look at some examples. Follow the order of operations to evaluate. Now you guys have just mastered that because that was our last set of notes. So let's give this a shot. All right, so in our first example, we have variable A touching variable B squared. And I know that whenever two things are touching, they're being multiplied. And then we're adding the variable C. But we know what each one of these are. So for A, I'm gonna substitute in 2. There's my 2. For B, I'm gonna substitute in 4. That squared is with the B, so I'm going to include that as well. And lastly, for C, I'm going to substitute in 7. All right, well now let's work through this. Now we got all our colors. If you use order of operations, remember that's PEMDAS. Parentheses comes first. These parentheses are just holding in our 4, so we can skip that. Exponents, absolutely. 4 squared, that's what I'm going to be squaring, is going to give me 16. I'm going to keep that in my parentheses, bring down the 2, and bring down the 7. All right, 2 times 16, because I know I have to do multiplication before addition or subtraction. So 2 times 16 is going to give me 32. 32 plus 7 is 39. So basically, we substitute in the value of each letter exactly where it is in the expression. And then we're going to work the order of operations to simplify. Let's try one more. Over here, we're going to start with this 3. And just to make my life a little bit easier, since I know I'm just going to substitute in an X, I'm going to make a shell. Since I'm only substituting in one number, I'm going to make sure I put it in both places. Now, let's use the order of operations to solve this, which is simplify. Parentheses, nope, they're just indicating multiplication, so I can skip that. Exponents. If I put -2 in parentheses, you have to put in parentheses in your calculator. So you take your calculator, hit parentheses, -2, close your parentheses, and then caret up or the arrow up 2, or you can just hit the square button, enter, you're gonna get the number 4. I'm gonna bring down everything else. I kept my parentheses here because I want to make sure that I remember that we're multiplying these two numbers since they're touching. Our next step is multiplication and division, left to right. So if I multiply here, I get 12. Bring down your minus sign, or -4 times 2 gives me -8, and 12 minus 8 is 4. All right, your turn to try. There's 4 below. Go ahead and try them on your own.